Hello everyone, I'm Solid and welcome back to Witcher 3. Last time we finished the Heart of Stone DLC and we also ended up going through a lot of the various side quests and spending all of our money, spending 30,000 coins, 30,000 gold. That was both good and bad. We're still gonna need to make more money if we want to actually make any use out of the whole alchemy nonsense rune forging thing that we unlocked. But that is something that we'll worry about another time, because what we're doing now is we still have one more DLC left. We have the Blood and Wine DLC. Now, earlier in the playthrough, we already did start this by accident. We ended up talking to some people. They warped us to Toussaint, and we saw the beautiful scenery there, but I didn't go and explore it. I immediately left and continued on with the main story. So now though, now that we finished the main story, we finished Heart of Stone, it's finally time for us to come back to do Blood and Wine. And finally time for us to go and explore Toussaint, which I am very excited for. I hope that we do actually have a whole new area to explore, because it has happened a few times where we have been warped to another area and it seems like we're going to be able to explore it, but it's actually very minimal. For example, the part where we were warped to alien worlds in the main storyline, where the exploration there was pretty minimal. We just go from A to B and then we're done. I don't think that's going to be the case though for Toussaint, because I'm pretty sure you can actually warp there, right? Yeah, we can actually just warp there. It's a whole place. So this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a lot of fun. I love exploration. I love new areas, and I especially loved the look of Toussaint last time we were there. So let's head over. Let's finally continue on with the story. I don't remember exactly. Oh, I have to be at a signpost. I don't remember exactly what was going on in the storyline since we last started it. Like I said, it was a long time ago that we accidentally started the storyline. I remember we ran into these two guys, fought some bandits or something, and then they took me over there saying that I needed to come because like the Duchess of Toussaint summoned me or something like that. So we'll see. I'm sure it's all going to come back and it's all going to get explained as we continue on. And also, I think a troll thing appeared. Some sort of big troll enemy appeared and we killed it. That's something that happened. Okay, and here we are, and it is nighttime. I don't know if I want it to be nighttime. This place looked so great during the day. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to change it to daytime. I know some places can look really good at night as well. That's definitely a thing, but I feel like for this area in particular, I'm going to want it to be daytime. I know like sometimes cities can look really nice at night, but don't think that's going to be a thing this time. Okay, so here's the here's the troll thing that we killed last time. Oh, it still has loot? What? It has a greater red mutagen? I guess I missed that when I rushed out of here last time. I'm so glad. Thank you, game. Thank you, game, for saving the loot here. Thank you for that. That is actually wonderful. I'm glad the game did that. So we got a weapon there. Dahlia. It's stronger than my current sword. This is a silver weapon, so I don't have to get rid of my shovel. Critical hit chance to stagger, bonus XP. Armor piercing, way more crit damage bonus, and a similar amount of crit chance. So yeah, okay, that's just a great sword. All right, okay then. I know there are some stronger steel swords that I could be using, but I'm really sad that I'm gonna have to get rid of this spade at a certain point. This shovel. I still am very sad about that, and refuse to believe that that's the thing that I'm gonna have to do. Okay, and now we got something else, right? We also got... Where is it? Character. We got a greater mutagen, right? So let me go ahead and equip that. Here we go. Plus 10% attack power. Becomes plus 40% when you equip it there. Yeah, that is so good. And I don't think we can... Yeah, we don't have enough mutagens to craft any other even higher level ones for the rest of the slots, but that's awesome. That's the kind of thing that I've wanted to get drops from for monsters. And we actually got it here. So that gives me hope that we're actually going to be fully maxed out by the end of this.
Whoa there, Roach.
Just enjoy the sights for a little bit. It's very nice. Can I take a look at the map? How big is this map? So we are looking this way. And I assume that's the city that I see. And we're headed over there. So yeah, the map is actually pretty sizable because there's areas behind me as well, and also past here. Okay, it's not huge. It's not ginormous, but
Roach.
that city looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun though. Is she not speaking a language I can understand? Can you say that again?
Slow now.
What was that you were saying? Hello? Okay, never mind. She doesn't want to speak anymore. I'm just curious if the people here speak a language that Geralt doesn't understand. The Cockatrice Inn.
Roach.
Where are you rushing to?
Okay, well, he spoke English.
Go, go.
Take a look in here.
Say her grace is called in someone to tend to the beast.
That would be us.
North, they say. What? We've no knights brave enough? Of course we have. Bravery's not enough against the beast. It wields dark powers. That calls for a witcher. Or a mage.
This one dance
Okay.
sent night after night into the woods to bring glory to her name. As it turned out, she was
Four fingers?
Four fingers
Four fingers
hands. Sent the
hints.
poor fool straight into a trap.
That's gonna be a side quest.
It might not.
The air here is such that one is never
Interesting stuff coming from the NPCs already. So they already know about the beast thing that we're going to be hunting, and it apparently has dark powers, whatever that means. And there's some tale about ladies sending people to the working with the four fingers hands, whatever that means.
removed the body already.
Let's look around. Make sure they didn't miss anything.
Remove the body. Okay, so we're apparently searching for maybe a body of whatever, of like a victim of the beast that we're talking about. Possibly. And of course we're getting new music with the new area as well. Oh. Horse is leading the way.
Hobnailed boots, multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went.
Okay, so
Walked
this is
along
a
the shoreline.
ducal guard.
Lay on the bank.
Perhaps it's where the monsters are attracted by the dead body.
Got guests. Careful.
Scurver. I mean, they just look like spiny drowners to me. That's one thing about this game is a lot of the monsters are kind of copy-paste in respawns. Okay, these ones are a little bit tanky though, that's for sure. What did I get hit by? I don't even know. Oh yeah, I think I also wanted to try switching to a heavy attack playstyle and seeing if that would work out well. I'll do that eventually. Ow. Okay, they don't do that much damage, they're just tanky. They do that though.
Smell of blood. Let's keep looking.
Sheesh. Self-destruct is kind of scary. That reminds me of like a Dark Souls or Elden Ring enemy. Specifically, it's reminding me of the pot things that I'm fighting in the DLC right now. All right, these guys are very colorful. This whole area is a very colorful area. Very different vibe. Look at how his yellow and his red mixed together.
Notice anything interesting?
Alas, nothing.
Okay.
Anything taken by the current ends up in these shallows.
Yes, the stench is fierce.
Blood. Guardsmen pulled these nets out of the water, then cut the mutilated body free.
Okay, so guardsmen already found the body and freed it.
Gonna dive in, make sure they didn't miss anything. Look at the rut. Guardsmen left this site by boat recently, probably to transport the body somewhere.
Okay. Now he says we have to dive in, so I guess let's dive in. Oh. What are you doing, Geralt? Looked like he was about to drown there or something. Can I grab the fish? Darn. This? Ooh, loot. I'll take that. Linen. Wooden spoon. I think any of that is relevant. Okay, I guess I need to look at the ore, maybe? Probably not. Probably something else I need to look at. This? Handkerchief? Handkerchief monogrammed DLC? Okay.
Silk kerchief, monogrammed DLC. A noble's accessory, clearly. Be nice to know where they took the corpse.
Okay, so are we saying that a noble took the corpse, or that it was the corpse of a noble? I guess either could be true. So I guess we're gonna ask this guy what he knows about those initials.
What now?
This isn't the site of the murder. We know that. Current brought the body here. Corpse got caught in the nets. Guardsmen pulled it out, put it in a boat and took it somewhere. Need to find out where. I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsmen, which direction they took. We should ask there.
Okay, so was this murder? Was this ooh, suspicious hooded figure? So was this not from the monster that we're talking about? Then was this a different murder by somebody else, and these guardsmen are in on it? Is that what we're getting at here? Again, I don't remember. It was a while since the last time we started this quest. I probably should have went back and watched my my recording of the starting of this quest so I could remember, but I was hoping I would just immediately remember, but I don't. Someone's watching us, yeah.
Seems we've got ourselves an audience.
You think this surprising? The locals will tell the children of children they do not have yet, of the day a quartered corpse was pulled from the river.
Is it that unusual for there to be a corpse at the river when there's still all these monsters around? I mean, this place seems nicer and like better off than the other places that we've been to, but it still has like drowner things that have spikes that explode out of them.
One thing. Found a handkerchief in the water. Monogrammed DLC. Mean anything to you?
Delacroix? It cannot be. Was it he the
Delacroix.
beast slew?
Seems so. Knew him well?
Long past. We were close friends once, but our paths diverged. He was a man of extremes, standing by his companions, no matter the odds. Fighting his foes to
Okay,
the bitter
so the
end.
monster is the
Foes.
person that killed
You
them?
have a lot of them?
He did, but I do not see what that has to do with the beast. Ah, Geralt, you've struck a raw nerve. Memories of a time long past, to which I'd rather not return now.
I understand. We can talk later. Let's go to the tavern.
Okay,
Shall have to leave you soon. Return to court.
Barely got back to Toussaint.
so this guy, Milton, thinks that the death of this Delacroix, I think what you said, was done by the monster. Geralt seems to suspect that it could possibly not be by the monster and maybe somebody else killed them and made it look like it was the doings of a monster. I think that's where we're at right now.
The service of Her Illustrious Highness knows no rest. In fact, I'd feared I would return too late to fulfill my duty. Yet it seems I've arrived in the nick of time.
Cool shield. If you could run a little bit faster, though, I would appreciate it. I don't think you can, though. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He's wearing so much armor. He's heavy.
The corpse, be sure to report to Anarietta.
Anarietta?
Her Grace, the Duchess. I forget myself at times. We address each other by our first names in private. Never in Pomrin's presence, however. He finds such familiarity offensive.
So he is at... he's so close with the Duchess that he can address her on a first name basis? Interesting. Anarietta.
A watering hole for traders, smugglers, boatmen. But you will find no better crayfish chowder in all Toussaint.
Tempt the beast. A killer from the north, they say. What? With no lads brave enough? Of course we have. But bravery's not enough against the beast. It wields dark powers.
Is this where we're headed? The tavern, so we can talk?
By my troth, could that be the musty scent of fresh pâté?
Naught else, Sir de Peyrac Peyran. I see time has not dulled your senses.
We would be honored if you would join us. Your companion as well.
But why do I not detect even a whiff of crayfish chowder?
No soup today, on account of there being
No crayfish.
I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day.
I see.
But when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This
Why was the
corpse
sky
is
red?
Precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited.
Why was the sky red? That's so I understand. Like you caught a corpse in your fishing net. We were there. We saw the corpse in the fishing net, or where it was. So that's why there's no crayfish. Sure. Why was the sky red? How does? What's up with that?
To join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by her gracious magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited two men to join us, yet since Sir de Peyrac Peyran in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
So he's saying that Milton is not the Milton de Peyrac or whatever his name is. Isn't somebody who would go out hunting things? Milton introduced me already. Did he? We'll introduce ourselves.
Name's Geralt.
A humble introduction. You've clearly not tarried long with Sir de Peyrac Peyran.
Spare us the petty insults. Geralt is a master of the witchering trade. He has questions concerning the beast's last victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red as blood.
Ask Geralt, please, or we shall be here till winter.
Yeah, why was the sky red?
Must have been early in the morning. Went to check your nets and then...
I stepped out of my hut and saw...
By my troth, to the point, man. You found a body ensnared in your crayfish nets. We know this already. What happened then? Did you see anyone nearby? Did you spy anything noteworthy? Anything at all?
Not a soul around, just me. As for noteworthy... well...
Is this guy a storyteller or a bard or something?
Be warned, if I hear the sky was red again...
I saw a head popping, eyes bulging, the tongue blue and popped out. Next to it, a hand rocking upon the water.
Get a good look at the body parts?
They gave me such a fright. I bolted to town fast as my legs would take me, then returned with guardsmen who told me to keep out of their way. They had a hard haul. The parts were so tangled up in my nets, they were forced to cut them.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it
Oh,
to
there's a
cellar
suspicious
at
person on the right.
Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corvo Bianco is Baron Russell's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, He'll set his hounds on them.
While you were gallivanting about the
Geralt's
north,
noticed.
his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was that? Woman who just left. Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Linnis, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Roselle's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying this not much attention to what they're saying because I'm more concerned about what Geralt's concerned about, which is the lady there. So they said that it was probably the innkeep's daughter or whatever. They aren't totally sure though. I don't know if they even noticed her or not. Is that going to be Geralt's next love interest? How many is he going to have?
It's no secret, the Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The Ducal Chancellery bought it,
Okay.
in fact. Roselle now bunks with his
Gambling
brother,
debts.
Vicar Faro.
I told Roselle he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one throw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have to find that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times.
Okay.
Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore. It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
Okay, that guy's just spouting more nonsense. So the body has been stored at a rich person's house. Well, not a rich person, an old hero's house, who has borrowed a lot of money based on the fact that he's a hero and spent it all gambling.
Thanks for the hospitality. Time I examined the corpse.
Covo Bianco lies a short way from here, near the tourney grounds. Just follow the road and you'll arrive.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some sort calls.
Some sort. Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Velen. I'm to play the hare during this year's game in the palace gardens. When you see me in my costume, you will wet yourself laughing.
Okay, so this is what he meant by he's a hare, not the hunter. So what they're playing some kind of game where they have to catch him. He's gonna dress up in a costume. What is this?
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local history and
true.
tradition. So, see you later, Milton, and good luck.
Okay, so he's gonna be the Easter Bunny at the Easter service. Got it. Gottfried and the Chessboard Knight? I don't think we've read that. The last day of the tourney had come, and it was now clear Gottfried would tilt against the mysterious Chessboard Knight in the joust. Gottfried was the ducal champion at the time, so all were counting on his victory. No one knew a thing about the Chessboard Knight except that he had come from the south in dark armor and had a shield bearing 64 black and white squares. When the herald trumpeted the signal, the knights charged at each other. Gottfried's lance shattered against the Chessboard Knight's shield, and the mysterious knight swayed in his saddle. No mere mortal could have survived such a blow, yet the Chessboard Knight did not fall from his horse, but instead struck a blow of his own on the next pass, knocking Gottfried to the ground. The victor approached his defeated foe, stuck out his hand, and helped him stand. Before the herald could announce his victory, he took off his helm, and all beheld his eyes of coal and face of burnt cinders. I have come from a time long past to remind you of humility, which is a long forgotten virtue. My name was consumed by dragon fire when I perished, victim of my own pride. After saying these words, the Chessboard Knight rode off. No one stopped him, yet they repeat his warning to this day. Okay, so this is a parable about a knight who was, I don't know, let me read the start of it. Yeah, okay, so about a knight, Gottfried, who was really confident in his victory, and he was defeated by a knight. Then he said that his name was burned or whatever, consumed by dragon fire because of his own pride or something like that. Is that gonna somehow relate to the person that we were just talking about, the former hero who had like a fall from grace where he just borrows a bunch of money and gambles now? I don't know. I don't know if that's somehow related or not. Like if those two stories are.
Like that, you must have your pick of the ladies.
Yeah, whatever. Like if that parable has some. Could be related to the person we're going to be meeting. I don't know. Again, I like the colorful armors, even though this one isn't that colorful. It's got like the hints of blue.
Yes, Witcher.
Got nothing to say. Aiming at the river. You know what? I don't think I've ever fought guards in my playthrough so far. I've never made them mad and fought them. I feel like I need to do that. I feel like this isn't a real playthrough if I don't do that.
Well, Witcher, what's the meaning of this? Well,
Attack
Witcher,
me.
your choice.
There we go.
Come here. We'll
I just want to see. Okay, they're very weak. I wonder if I can get their weapon though. They don't drop anything? Okay, that immediately removes all my interest in killing guards. That's sad. Like, imagine if I could get that halberd. Wouldn't that be awesome? Eh, whatever. Anyway, I'll reload. I'll reload the save in case that has some sort of negative effects. But imagine if we could use a halberd instead. That would be awesome. But instead, Geralt has to stick to his plain old sword. I must say, too many games and too many characters in fiction. Just use a sword. That's so boring. It's so boring to just have every single character in books and in movies and in games just use a plain old sword. Where's the flails? Where's the halberds? Huh? Where's the giant hammers? Where's the clubs? We don't get any of that. We don't get any of that in any kind of media. Everyone's like, oh, but swords are the cool one, so we have to use the cool sword weapon. Nah, okay. Swords are cool. Swords are cool. But let's get some variety, alright? So get some variety in some of them.
Have to hurry.
Some of the other cool weapons. Okay, some death is happening here. What the heck? Wait, this is where the corpse was brought, right? Did the corpse come back to life? Like, what's happening here? Also, why are we getting lag? Examine the body kept in the cellar. Oh, let me put away my weapon, please. Thank you.
Damn it. Killer must still be here.
The killer? Why did the killer come
Cellar.
here?
Gotta be.
What is going on with you, buddy? Did he cut your neck? Or your mouth? Or you barfing out stuff from your internal organs? Alright, hold on. Let's first check around the scene.
Killed with a single blow.
Single blow, okay, and then that does seem to mean that it might be a monster.
Attacker had no trouble knocking over the cart.
Yep, something with incredible strength.
River muck. Carried the body in his cart.
Okay. But why did it come back for this dead body? Does the body have something on it that it wants? But then why didn't it grab it when it killed it?
Busted ribs, blood from the ears. Took a solid hit. Throat torn open by man-like jaws. Man-like, except for long fangs. Massacred.
A
by
vampire.
Not an Ekimara, though. Or a Fletter. Bruxa. Gotta be.
Bruxa. Okay, I don't know what a Bruxa is. How does that relate to the high vampire that we fought before? You know what? We haven't actually taken a look in our bestiary in a long time. Let's actually do that. Let's do some reading. Maybe a little bit of a weird time to be doing some reading, but let's do some reading anyways because it's just been too long. Okay, wild boars. How doth I guess maybe I'll put a timestamp if I remember if you want to skip this part. But if I don't, I'm sure you know how to skip through a video if you don't want to watch this. Wild boars, how doth the little wild boar improve his shining tusks, and rut them against the forest floor, and on the trees' rough husks? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcomes little lasses in with gently smiling jaws. Okay, of course, a typical like song from these days where it's just very grim. Louis of Sherrill, mathematician, author, and poet. These woodland beasts are as wild, why is that in quotation marks, untamed, nasty, and aggressive as their name indicates. To this day, many peasants in outlying Cadweni villages believe wild boars persist on a diet of young maids, though in truth, they most often slate their hunger with roots and acorns. Do not think this vegetarian diet makes them harmless, however. In fact, these animals' stout build and sharp teeth render them veritable fur-covered combat machines. Mother Nature has additionally equipped them with dual pairs of tusks, upper pipes, and lower sabers. In this weaponry's sum effect is to make the beast the terrors of the woods, a threat to all who venture or dwell there, human, humanoid, or otherwise. I feel like this is overselling it. This is really overselling it. We fought, I think, only one of these in our lifetime, and they were not that bad. Where was I? Boars also have hard club-like snouts which some peasants call their whistles, though no boar has ever been heard to make such a noise. Instead, they emit a characteristic grunt, which sounds to some like the snoring of an extremely overweight man. Another peasant belief claims boars have extremely prickly natures, and if offended, will vent their anger by knocking down fences and gobbling up potatoes. Though they sometimes live alone, boars usually appear in small groups of 3 to 5 specimens. Yeah, I think we only fought one. Alright, the Toad Prince. I thought we already read this. The girl walked up to the edge of the pond, there squatting amidst the fragrant lilies and broad lily pads. She saw a most unusual sight. A small green frog with a golden crown perched on its warty head. Yeah, this is the fairy tale. Charmed by this curious little creature, the girl picked it up and gave it a kiss. Immediately, the little frog transformed into a handsome prince. Overcome with gratitude, he asked the girl to be his wife. Folktale author unknown. Timeless tales always carry with them a grain of truth. The legend of the Frog Prince is no exception. I think it's about to explain this, but no, it didn't contain a grain of truth until Orgir made it contain a grain of truth. Or at least that's what the folk of Oxenford wished to believe when they found out a monstrous toad lurked in their city sewers. The woman who hunted it in search of romance and a better life, however, found their tales had a most unhappy ending. Yeah, that would not be very smart. The creature they encountered was no small, sweet frog, but a bloodthirsty beast who not only did not let them in for a kiss, but instead greedily devoured them and anything else that strayed into its slime-covered lair. Not very smart. Royal Wyvern. I'm pretty sure we already read this, but I guess we got new information on it. It were huge, and those teeth, we barely escaped. Wonder if it killed the traders. Whoreson's sure had it coming. Conversation overheard in Velen. A hunter who knows his prey's habits and behavior will rarely return from his hunt empty-handed. To know what forest paths deer are like to trod, to know what muck boars will wallow, to guess when a hare will emerge from its burrow, that is half the battle. What most men do not know is that some monsters also possess such knowledge. For example, a royal wyvern from Velen had learned the danger of exposing itself to human eyes and arrows by flying high to pick out its prey from afar. Instead, it would lurk by the roadside to wait for military transports. In this way, it grew fat on salted pork and beer, expanding until it resembled a dragon more than other lesser members of its own kind. The Witcher thus knew this beast would be much stronger and more resilient than a normal wyvern. Even one blow from it could kill, which is why he would need to avoid its charge at all costs. He would also be wise to force it to the ground with his crossbow or a bomb whenever it tried to fly into the air and hurtle down in a deadly dive. In the end, the Witcher slew the hideous creature, though not without some difficulty. Thanks to this feat, soldiers could once again send shipments of the food and equipment needed to conduct the war. Whether that was a good or bad thing, that is an entirely different matter. And the Dragon of Firestone. I think is it the only dragon that we've ever fought? I think it is. It got scales, wings, claws. A dragon's a dragon. No point in gabbing. Just go kill it. Vagan Village Elder of Firesdale. Actually, no. Okay, so this wasn't a dragon. They just thought it was a dragon. In that case, have we never actually fought a dragon in this game before? Has it just been wyverns? That's interesting. I wonder if there even are dragons in this game at all. Do you truly know what a dragon looks like? For those who have seen one up close rarely have the chance to share their impressions. That is why people are forever mistaking other monsters for dragons. This was the case in Firesdale, where the so-called dragon wreaking havoc turned out to be a forktail. Yet this mistaken attribution did not mean there was no reason for worry. The forktail harassing Firesdale was a particularly vile representative of its kind, one equipped with an endless store of deadly venom. Fighting it without first drinking a regenerative potion or poison antidote would be tantamount to suicide. I'm pretty sure I didn't do that, and I didn't die. In his fight with the forktail, Geralt gave proof not only of his masterful swordsmanship, but also of a previously undemonstrated flair for shepherdry. With a little help from brave sheep, led by the village elder, he lured the monster into a trap and ended its life. Yeah, I remember that. Djinns, ice elementals. Okay. I thought to myself, what's a hunk of ice doing in the middle of some lab? And then that hunk of ice got up and broke my legs. Yannick Loft Burglar. I mean, he was lucky to even escape. An ice elemental was a mass of frozen water animated by magic, deprived of consciousness or independent will. This elemental is boundlessly obedient to the orders of the mage who created it. These orders usually contain but one syllable: kill. And insectoids. Arachnomorph. These are the spiders. The spider shall never lie down with a fly. Oh, very proverb? Yeah, they kill each other. Or, well, the spider kills the flies. A similar saying could gain ground in our land concerning arachnomorphs and everything unable to flee them, meaning most every creature in the world. True, the tillers of the earth and fellers of the trees must not fear them in their daily labors, for arachnomorphs, as distant post-conjunction cousins of common spiders, strongly prefer deep, dark caves and unfrequented sodden swamps. Anyone who does come across them, however, had best hope his conscience is clear and his worldly affairs are in order, for his life shall soon end, as not even the fastest man in the world can outrun them, and only a few witchers can hope to slay them. Even worse are the more aggressive and dangerous kind, known as arachnomorph colossi, which are capable of devouring an entire ox in seconds. Have I never ran into one of those yet? I want to see one. Post-conjunctions, cousins of common spiders. Interesting. I'm very curious about the conjunction of the spheres and how that changed the existing life forms. Like, did this change the existing spiders that were on the planet? Or were these spiders that were brought over from another land? That's what I don't know. Endrega drones. Lazy, good-for-nothing men are sometimes called drones. That's an insult to Endrega drones, who at least get off their arses to fight. Evelyn Harker Herbalist. Endrega males called drones are gluttonous creatures whose only aim in life is to eat, fight, and reproduce. Yet when venturing outside their nests, these aggressive hunters attack any and every creature they come across. Endrega drones live but brief lives, the culmination of which comes in the autumn when they fertilize the queen. They pass the time leading to that moment protecting the colony's territory. Weaker drones survive in these battles, while the largest and strongest survive. These elect individuals' genes are passed down to the next generation of Endregas, while they themselves are killed after fertilization takes place, and their bodies are used to feed the hive during the long winter months. So I know that happens with some insects that the males just die after they do their thing. Drones are easy to identify thanks to their distinctive cone-shaped abdomens. Unlike other Endregas, they can attack from a distance, sending out volleys of poisoned quills. As with all of their kind, bleeding has no effect on them, and insectoid oil does them great harm. Okay, so that's interesting. So you can't make them bleed. That means that my basic attacks don't actually do much, and I actually might be better served doing heavy attacks against Endregas. Because one of my basic attacks abilities that it causes a bleed. Parisi. It attacked us. Gods, I don't know what it were, but 'twere at least 4 spans high. How much is a span? Velen peasant woman. Velen's woods and bogs brim with monsters. This fact is well known, and thus when the war drove refugees into this hostile land, certain of their number thought to avoid the dangers of the lowlands by hiding in an abandoned mine. They were in for an unfortunate surprise. The shaft they chose for their sanctuary was inhabited by a poisonous Arrakis, a merciless and bloodthirsty monster. The Witcher knew he was in for a tough fight. The Arrakis had dwelled in the mine for years, and had grown large and particularly strong and resilient in that time. Like other members of its vile species, it would be dangerous both at close quarters and at a distance. What's more, it was almost certainly venomous. He would need to imbibe Swallow or Golden Oriole, or both, before attacking, if he was to stand a chance at surviving. As a small consolation, the Witcher knew the monster would be vulnerable to his signs, especially Igni, Ard, and Yrden, as well as the Northern Wind Bomb. I didn't use any of those, I'm sure. The Witcher arrived at the cave too late to save the refugees, but he could still avenge their fate. He slew the powerful Arrakis and destroyed the eggs bearing its vile offspring. Abaya. Seen a lot of ugly critters in my life, morays, lampreys, blobfish, but never nothing like this. Bjorg, Kaer Troll's shipbuilder. The bay below Kaer Troll had a pernicious reputation. At times, fishermen who chose to cast their nets in its waters would never come home again. Something would drag oarsmen off their longships or knock the ships themselves over. The locals blamed this on sea devils, the Skelligers named for drowners. The truth, however, proved far worse. What is the hierarchy of the monsters? Like, what is the worst monster between a water hag and a drowner and a foglet and a whatever? Like, where's the tier list for them? A water hag had made her lair in the caves beneath the cliffs of Jarag, an old and experienced water hag, with powerful claws able to demolish any attempt to block or parry, and the ability to blind opponents from a distance, then strike with a lightning-quick counterattack. Signs would be needed to best her, Yrden to slow her, and Quen to protect her from her blows. Needed most of all, however, would be a great deal of luck. The Witcher, though, was never one to count on luck alone. Instead, he pulled a few tricks from his sleeve to even the odds. By masking his scent, he managed to catch the monster by surprise and slay it. And it is just a it is just a water hag. So I don't know why we have like multiple entries for the same thing, but we do. Grave hag. Cremation, now that's one thing men could learn from gnomes. Burying bodies out in the fields, why, it's like laying out a welcome mat for monsters. Honestly, I get what you mean. Best case scenario, some ghouls will sniff them out, eat their fill, and be on their ghoulish way. But if, God forbid, a grave hag takes to feeding at your cemetery, you'll have no end of trouble. Yeah, honestly, I would expect in this universe for people to just only do cremation at this point. Do monsters' names fit as well as the grave hags? As one might guess, these creatures resemble age-deformed women and loiter near graveyards and battlefields. Grave hags feed on human corpses, and in particular, the rotted marrow which they slurp from the human bones using their long, prehensile tongues. Once a hag has devoured all corpses within reach, she turns to killing men and burying them in the cemetery as she waits for them to decompose. Okay, so they actually want the bodies to decompose. They actually don't feed on fresh bodies. Interesting. Scurvers. Okay, this is what I just ran into. There was just a pile of rotten meat until it started to move. Tybalt from Beauclair. Scurvers are rot fiends' larger cousins. Okay. The bodies of these hideous, vaguely humanoid creatures are covered with rotten scraps of flesh, under which lurk even more rotten muscles stretched around a strong, flexible skeleton. Scurvers, which feed on old, rotting corpses, prefer to make their hunting grounds in abandoned torture sites, forgotten graveyards, and old battlefields. They are very aggressive, and though they feed on corpses, if they come across a living person, they are likely to attack. Thus, when wandering near any of the above-mentioned places, one must be especially cautious. What does it mean for something to be rotten? I don't actually fully know, I'll admit. I would assume, I know that it means that it's starting to go old, go bad, decompose maybe. Possibly some fungi will get in there and start to be part of it. How can like is it possible, like, for something to like both live like this thing is living and also be rotten at the same time? I would think it would have something to do with the bacteria that are there and the fungi that are there. Like, something would have to live in symbiosis with whatever fungi or bacteria are also decomposing it. That's how that would have to work. But in that sense, you could consider, like, humans as we are rotten, if that was how you described that. Because we also have bacteria in ourselves that we live in symbiosis with, that helps us digest things and whatnot. And probably some forms of fungi as well. So where do you draw the line between that and something living with rot and actually being fine with it? I don't know. Scurvers usually feed underground, but sometimes when they catch the scent of a human, they crawl to the surface in a matter of seconds and attack their potential prey. While fighting them, when one cannot afford to forget about their special bony spines, razor-sharp protuberances sticking out from their skeletons. When a scurver is near death, the gases and enzymes gather within its body, causing it to explode, flinging these spines out at great speed, turning them into one last deadly weapon in their arsenal. To protect oneself against damage from these spines, one should make prodigious use of the Quensign. Ooh, I struggle to speak sometimes. I especially struggle to speak clearly, though. I feel sometimes I slur my words together. And I just gotta try my best not to. Imp. Really want to see an angry witcher? Do you? Conversation overheard on the streets of Novigrad. The imp pestering the merchants of Novigrad turned out to be a Doppler. These monsters usually avoid confrontation, to everyone's great relief. When pinned, they become extremely dangerous. Fighting them quickly turns into a fight against oneself, or, to be precise, against the mirror image of one gifted with one's own strength and abilities. So the Dopplers can also gain the abilities of the people that they copy? How does that work? That doesn't really make any sense. In conflict with such even odds, only luck or destiny decides the victor. Geralt has an extra helping of both, and so won his fight against his Doppler doppelganger. Then decided to let him go free. Unlike other monsters, this creature's motives for harming humans were noble. So wouldn't all the Dopplers that we know just always imitate Geralt anytime they fight? Isn't that what would make sense? The Caretaker. That's the one where we got the shovel from. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in philosophy. Bartolomeo Derez, after trying to contact creatures from another plane and landing in an insane asylum. The Caretaker served with the indifference of a golem and proved as fierce in battle as it was diligent in its labors. It felt no pain. In fact, each blow it received seemed to give it strength, as did each blow it landed on Geralt with the spade it wielded as its weapon. What is more, the Caretaker was able to summon powerful spirits from the graves it had dug, and could heal itself by absorbing them. Thank goodness it didn't have a real weapon, otherwise we would have been doomed. The Witcher had a hard time evading the devastating strikes of its weapon, and his only chance at wounding the creature came when it would stick its spade into the ground to draw on the otherworldly energy in an attempt to petrify its foes with fright. Really? I feel like I feel like we didn't. We tried to take advantage of certain openings, but he never really had that much of an opening. The being known as the Caretaker had been summoned to the Von Everett estate from another realm, making demon its most accurate designation. The Caretaker has been forced into servitude by its magic, its tasks to care for the house and protect it from intruders. It performed these pedantically, tending the flowers, repairing the fences, tidying the yard, and murdering all the intruders who set foot on the grounds, then burying their corpses in neat rows on untended land just beyond the manor garden's bounds. Wonder what happened to those cats that were also demons. Ethereal. The human mind is as wild and unexplored as a place as any land far beyond the seas. It is inhabited by manifold dangers, fears, painful memories, traumas. These lurk on the edge of our consciousness like predators waiting for a moment of weakness in which to reveal themselves and destroy us. Arturius Vigo, the essence of spells and illusions. The painted world created by the mind of Iris von Everick was also mainly populated by figures from her memories. It was also home to dangerous, predatory creatures, the embodiments of her fears. The most dangerous of these, the ethereal, invoked her greatest fear and ward the face of her husband. The ethereal resembled Olgierd in appearance and also fought using a technique similar to his. A group of 6 such creatures lay in wait for Geralt, yet at first only one engaged him in battle. This one's death awoke the next, which was more powerful than the first, and so it went to the end, with a stronger ethereal replacing a fallen, weaker brother until all were defeated. Yet Geralt had to be careful, for the slightest amount of damage dealt to a being awaiting his turn would cause him to come alive and join his still living comrade in the fight. In the end, the best tactic against these nightmarish beings proved to be a well-timed counterattack. Yeah, and I did end up figuring that out, that you just want to stay in the corner, not bother the rest of them, fight them one by one, dodge hit, dodge hit. The Wraith from the painting, worst boss ever. Quite often a Wraith is tied to an object, something it has clung to during life, or a location such as its place of death. In either case, we are dealing with the same causal agent, a strong emotional tie from which the Wraith draws strength. Inigo Swan beyond the natural world. While wandering the Von Evericks' abandoned estate, Geralt came into contact with a woman's wraith haunting the house. The restless spirit had mastery over the house's furnishings, and in particular over the paintings hanging from its walls. It moved freely between their canvases, entering one and exiting through another. At first, it tried to scare Geralt into giving up his search, and then, when it was clear the strategy would not work, it attacked him directly. Geralt's battle against the Wraith proved very difficult, yes it did, for it was fueled by rage and launched its attacks with heated aggression. Geralt was forced to move with lightning speed in order to parry its blows, without time to take a breath or launch an attack of his own. What's more, the Wraith had created a bond with the paintings around it, and until the Witcher severed this tie, it would continually regain any lost strength. So, it mentioned parrying there. I know that's the thing that we learned early on, is that you could parry, supposedly, but I also heard that that was not a useful ability. Was that actually a useful ability against her? Should I have been trying to time a parry to counter her? Is she like the boss where you're supposed to parry? The key to victory over the Wraith from the painting was to focus on parrying its blows and only attack sporadically at exactly the right moments. Any attempt to attack in a flurry was always punished with a deadly counterattack. You say so. Okay. And then finally, the Bruxae. So this is what we're going to be fighting. So not a fire vampire, but somewhat humanoid-like as well. If you must travel through the woods, steer clear of any places where you can hear different kinds of birds at once. That sound means you're entering a Bruxa's territory and can kiss your life farewell. They make sounds of multiple birds? Fortunately for us all, Bruxae are rare creatures. Most live far from population centers, but they care greatly for their own safety and make their lairs in places where they cannot be taken by surprise. Those who decide to live near men avoid crowds and emerge from their shelters only at night. But it's daytime right now, and also this one's very near humanoid encampments, or human encampments. When they do, one could almost mistake them for delayed travelers hurrying towards their night's lodging. Yet subtle details give them away. Their close ties to birds, their piercing voices, and the breathtaking speed of their movements. Bruxae are far swifter and stronger than men. Their greatest asset is their ability to turn invisible. Okay. So they can turn invisible and they like to stay far away. So then the question becomes, why is this Bruxae nearby? That's the question. So, if they normally stay away from human areas in order to fear, because they fear for their own safety, then that means that they had to come here in order to either stop something that was infringing on their own safety, or the humans did something to provoke it. Like maybe they stole one of its babies or something, or whatever, and it came to get it back. That's the only thing I can think of. Bruxay dart about with uncanny speed, and with the power of the invisibility, they can easily confuse opponents and attack unexpectedly or from behind. Thus, when fighting these vampires, the moon dust bomb is a great aid. Oh. While it cannot eliminate the vampire's invisibility altogether, it can make it easier to track its motions. A generous smearing of vampire oil is also effective. Bruxay use their sharp claws to attack and can easily break through an opponent's guard by buffeting them with a hail of blows from all directions. They'll try to bite their prey and drink its blood once it's weakened. So every Witcher who expects an encounter with a monster should swallow a black blood potion beforehand. Bruxay are also known for the sonic attacks which knock down and stun their prey. That is a lot of abilities. So we're supposed to be using moon dust bombs, black blood potions, and vampire oil. We'll see if we just don't need all that. We'll see if we can just get off
Black
with
blood.
not doing that at all.
Moon dust. Could be lifesavers.
Okay. Let me save before I go in there. There we go. And what is up here? Nothing? Nothing? Okay. Well, let's do Quen. And let's not do any of the things that it told us to do, and we'll see if we can still get through this. What? Excuse me? I heard someone die. Was it this guy that died, or this person's head that died? I'm confused. Hold on, I want to reload the save and see if I can watch that again. Like, what happens if I go back in there and watch that one more time? What was actually happening there? Because I feel like I missed something funny. Let's run back in here. There's the guy. Okay, that didn't make any more sense than before. Not a single bit.
Footprints. Small bare feet. Lead deeper into the cellar.
Okay, yep, sounds about right.
Hurled against the wall with great force.
Okay, but what about this way? Nothing? Okay. Very well. I guess we're going only one way.
Used this to batter down the grate.
What, use the person?
Took a lot of strength to batter this down.
Yep, it's a very strong enemy we're going to be fighting, I guess. Yep, here we go.
You. Saw you at the inn.
Am I going to be able to edit this
Don't
while
know
I'm
why you
fighting
killed
it?
These people, though, clearly wasn't for their blood.
Or are we going to even have to fight it? It doesn't actually look like the Bruxay I remember from the thing. It looks more
We
humanoid.
don't have to fight.
You are wrong.
This game hates me. It hates editor me. It really does. So why is it wrong that we don't have to fight you? Why are you saying we have to fight?
I cannot let you leave.
Okay, now it's turning more normal. Okay. Ow! Okay, that's the scream attack. Okay, maybe I can just not edit this. This is fine. I don't know. I don't know what YouTube cares about and doesn't care about. Who the heck knows? No, don't be screaming. Calm down, calm down. I'm doing something. You're doing something. Where'd you go? Are you gonna attack me? Hello? I think they missed. Oh! That's gonna get her health back, isn't it?
Blood. Should have knocked back a vial.
Okay, it didn't actually seem to heal her, though. Ow, that hurt. Can barely see her, but I can see her. Fortunately, she telegraphs her attacks by sound. Hit her. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, there's our first health bar gone. There we go. Stay visible, please. Ow, ow, wow, oh my gosh. That's quite a combo. Okay. Yes, attack the right direction. No! Okay, we're dead. Okay. Interesting. Alright, now let's try it with the actual potions that it was talking about. And we'll see to what extent that actually helps. Okay, well, that was rude. So, I'm gonna make sure that I'll see if I have them, and if I don't have them, I'll see if I can craft them. Okay, the only thing I can't create is vampire oil, because I don't have the base vampire oil crafting recipe. But everything else I was able to make. So, no, wrong one. Let's do this, and then let's equip our bomb. Where is it? Moondust. I don't remember how you use this. Oh, that missed. Ow. Ow. Show yourself. Okay, calm down. I'm gonna wait till I can actually hit her. Like that. Okay. I keep messing things up. Messing up all my buttons. Ow. So we go here, we do this. Okay. Now can she just not go invisible anymore? Ow. Yeah, it seems like she can't go invisible. That'll make things easier for sure. Nice, I dodged it. Okay, she can try to go invisible, but it doesn't work. But she still tries. Okay, she can do the bite thing. Ow. Okay, she's almost dead. She hasn't actually tried biting me. As far as I can tell. Hello? There you are. Fortunately, that bomb seems to last a long while. Almost dead. And you're dead.
Killed all these men to get to the body. What was she doing at the table, though?
Yeah, couldn't we have just talked this out? Why did she say that we can't leave? Why was she so adamant about all this? Like, it didn't have to end this way. Geralt was doing his best to not kill her. But she was like, no, I want to die.
Stinks. Waterlogged. Both hands amputated. Body was quartered just as I thought. Third hand. A spare?
A spare.
Except it's clearly not the victim's.
Yeah, it was his spare
They
hand.
must have not noticed it as they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm. Blood still flowing? Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or of their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine
Weird.
the tissue more closely later. Might learn something.
Where did you put that, Geralt? Put that in your pocket?
Body was chopped up after death. Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witcher's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this.
Okay, so the Bruxa went over to find this guy again. Why? Or maybe to find the hand?
Laid in water for some time. Head swollen, and something took a few bites out of it. Something in the throat. A pouch, bulging with coins.
A coin pouch in his throat? What?
Elfguardian florins, from several different provinces. If the murderer did this, means we're dealing with a sentient thinking beast.
Huh. So something else with claws that for some reason put coins in his mouth? Or in his throat? And also left a hand there for some reason? This is very curious.
So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for
Yeah.
the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, pouch shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? And why was he chopped up into pieces?
Yeah, so many
Lots of
questions, no
questions,
answers.
No answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Palmerin to get me in to see the Duchess.
Alright. Yeah, hopefully the Duchess knows a bit more about what is actually going on and what all that means. Because like Geralt said, that is a bunch of nonsense. There's a bunch of nonsense that was in there. He's chopped up, he has a coin pouch in his throat. He was not killed by a Bruxa, he was slashed through in one swipe, as sharp as a witcher and long as a witcher blade. And there was a hand that's still alive, and he doesn't know what that could possibly be from. So it's a hand from something that even Geralt doesn't know. Really curious. Okay, where are we headed here? The Duchess, surely, but oh, we need to go find Palmerin and ask him to bring me to them. Okay. All right, but I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. And then I'll be back to talk to Palmerin. So I'll go get myself over to Palmerin, and I'll go eat, and I'll get back to you guys when I'm done. Oh, some kind of stadium over here. It's really loud. Well, I'm back from my food, so that's good. Hold on. Slow down. Get off of a horse.
Oh!
I want to go in there. Let's go take a look at that really quick. I don't know if that's our actual destination or not. Oh, it is. Okay, that makes sense.
The Camerlengo best not be late.
Are they fighting in there, or are they, what's going on? Okay, this is the person we're talking to, but let me take a look real quick. Oh. Yeah, somebody's fighting. Hold on. How do I get over there? What? Let me over. Okay, we're probably gonna get it led into there, so let's just talk to him.
Need to speak to the Duchess, urgently.
All right, you scamps. Store is done. Go find your parents.
But the Palmerine, what about the story of Rittik and the dragon?
They're tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
No, the stronger wins? Not always, but it's worth being good. I'm not gonna say yeah, because that's just not true. The stronger wins? I mean, in a sense, that's true. I think what I think is that what truly wins is the thing with like good versus evil and all that is, I feel like there's more good people than there is evil, and I think that's the reason why good things tend to win over time. But it's not really a hard rule, and like being good, being nice to each other, being friendly to other people, it causes people to group up together and, you know, form bigger groups for protection, and that's what causes evil to sort of just be on its own and eventually die off. But evil never goes away. I'm gonna say not always.
Not always. Could go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Palmerin's story. Think back. A decent man attracts other good folk. Makes
Exactly what I was trying to say.
A rogue? Well, you can only count on other rogues.
Yeah, okay. Geralt said what I said, but much more eloquently, actually.
And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
Yeah, power of
I
friendship.
must agree. Now,
The
that will
anime
do for
power of
questions.
friendship, that's what it
Go
is.
find your parents.
But there is some truth to it.
At
least I think so.
has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way.
Okay, so the spectacle hasn't begun yet. So if I looked in there, I wouldn't see anybody fighting.
Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Close, but not quite. As you will soon see.
Oh?
Someone's gonna fight a Shaelmar with only some bells on its tail to confuse it, slow it down?
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
Hey, careful with that. It's probably gonna whack those bells into you. Whole thing's dangerous. Shouldn't torture it like that. Nothing's the matter. What do we say about it? I don't know if it's a kind of beast that should be tortured or not tortured. Is it? How evil is this beast?
Shouldn't torment
Probably
the beast.
shouldn't.
How would you like to be dumped in an arena, blindfolded with a string of bells dangling from your ass?
Pity a monster. You, a witch.
I mean, some
I slay
monsters are
monsters
nice.
who are a threat to humans. You're out to humiliate one to entertain a crowd. No knight will gain any glory from this. Who's going to fight the beast?
Guillaume, the young man you met.
Yeah. Mentioned he'd promised his heart's captor a monster trophy.
I
It's
vaguely
not
remember
demands
that.
great sacrifices.
I vaguely remember that. I think we saw him in one of the earlier scenes.
Let's go.
Okay, best of luck. I don't know if I'm saying best of luck to this guy or the monster. I guess best of luck that neither of them die. But probably one of them is gonna die.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
Is that that's the princess, I guess? We're not. I guess I don't know if princess is the right word.
It's begun. The fight shall have
The daughter
begun
of a
first.
duchess.
We must wait.
I don't think I've ever fought one of those before.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, there goes one of the bells. Oh, this is when you do a plunging attack on it. Quick, it's not done. You got lucky. This is not smart.
Damn it.
Oh! Making noise. It's gonna attract it. Here it comes. This guy's an idiot. Okay. That went better than he could have hoped. He flew into the air instead of got crushed to the ground. Yeah, this guy's a little bit slow to act. Okay, well.
Gotta keep it down.
Okay, we're good.
Can only tell where we are when it hears us.
Alas, for nightly, the beast heaved its foul girth.
Well, I don't care if it can hear me or not. I'll just attack it normally.
Down came the Witcher in one mighty bound to give
He's telling stories now?
its friends confound.
Ow. Okay. When do I get a chance to attack you? Now? I guess now.
The fate of the beast has been weighed by the gods. Soon the Witcher shall triumph against all odds.
I don't think fire's gonna do anything to this thing. I feel like Ard might, or not Ard, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. This one. Okay, nope, not that one then. What about Axie? I feel like Axie might work. Yo, over here. There we go. Oh! Excuse me, sir, you're blocking me.
Not bad.
Okay, I don't know if that worked or not.
Shit.
No, you still can't hit it. Okay, well, I'll just stick to my normal tactics then.
The Witcher waited till the time was true, then 12 danced and spun.
I guess-
Struck the monster right through.
I guess the people are getting a good show out of this as well, but do we have to kill it? The guy's already safe. Can't we just leave now? Oh, I did that wrong. What is he doing? Exploding? What do I do? Jump? I can't jump. Okay, get him, get him, get him.
Like a bow who leaps at the love's first spurt, so the Witcher woos the Shelma, then his foul heart hurt.
Okay, it's not really doing much.
His racer strikes belly, Shelma's cries
Ah!
ring aloud, blood transforms into jelly.
Okay, I need him to attack me. Otherwise, I don't get a chance to hit. Oh, okay, he rammed into the wall. I guess that's what I'm supposed to do, is force it to ram into a wall. Every time. Oh, I leveled up, for whatever that's worth.
The Shelma lies defeated by Geralt of Rivia, master of the witchering trade.
The witchering trade.
Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
I don't think Geralt's too happy about that deed being applauded.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
No. We don't care about what these people think.
Monster's no threat. No need to kill it.
A victor may always show mercy. It is his right. Long live Geralt the Merciful! Pikemen, see to the beast.
Are they gonna kill it? Or are they gonna lead it away? What are they doing? Okay, they're just watching it.
Guillaume.
Good.
The lad came damned close to dying.
I'm fine.
Okay, so he was still in the
Not hurt at
arena.
all.
I didn't notice.
Vivian?
Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly pains you. She approaches.
Geralt. We must talk. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly, honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, hop. For we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival. Had nearly lost hope.
The person on the right, Vivian. So yeah. So is Vivian the who's the person on to the right of the Duchess there? And also, is she also the masked person, or like the suspicious person who was watching us earlier? Because I think they called her Vivian then. Was it? I'm pretty sure they said that. But then they said that she was the daughter of the tavern, like the tavern owner. Were those people mistaken, or are those two different people? I'm thinking they might be two different people, and I'm thinking if I'm mixing them up.
And suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
It'd be best if we didn't have to have made that entrance.
Your Grace. Shaelmars are dangerous creatures, even to knights in full plate armor.
Nonsense. In Toussaint, knights have battled beasts for mere glory since time immemorial. True. Guillaume suffered a few bumps, scars, and bruises, but in return gained eternal glory as he who slew the monster.
He wasn't the one who sued the monster, though.
What about the crowd? Say the Shaelmar had vaulted into the stands. Would have been a massacre.
Geralt, though we value your fortuitous intervention in the arena, we would remind you your services have been retained, and as shall soon become clear, you will be generously compensated for completing another task altogether.
In other words, she's just changing the subject and doesn't even want to acknowledge what we said. I don't like her already. I don't like her already. If she was a good person, she would have actually answered our question and answered our concerns. But instead, she's just like, no, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about something else that we want you to do for us.
Your Grace, my contract. I'd like to discuss it.
Naturally, but not here. We shall need Damien. He led the investigation pending your arrival. But wherever could he be? Come, we must find him.
Okay. At least they're not stabbing the thing. But it's probably gonna have to go fight again later on. We didn't exactly save it from its fate. Maybe it would have been better if we did kill it, so they would at least have a fast death.
Or did Viscount Julian accompany you?
Wish to see Dandelion, Your Grace?
Yes. I mean, no.
Nah.
Yes. But solely to tell him we regret. Yes, deeply regret rescinding the death sentence we so justly handed down upon him. If we could turn back time, we would make certain he sat in a tower till he rotted. No, we would ensure he was broken on the wheel, then drawn, hanged, and quartered.
Dandelion sure gets around, doesn't he?
Ah, the very man we would entrust with these tasks. Damien de la Tour, captain of my personal guard.
Okay, so this
Your
is...
Grace. Witcher.
Wait, Damien... So is this the DLC guy? Is this the guy who like moved the body? Is that what we're saying here?
Greetings. Sorry to have to tell you, but the guardsman handling the last victim's body...
I know already. The creature in the cellar of Corvo Bianco. Was it the beast?
No. A Bruxa, a kind of vampire. Not the beast, but tied to it in some way.
You know this how?
Through careful analysis of the evidence, both on the riverbank and at Corvo Bianco.
Do you mean to insinuate the investigation thus far has been sloppy?
Geralt insinuates nothing of the sort. We must listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, he asked us how we knew, and we knew, and we said that we investigated and found out. Like, that's not insinuating anything. I didn't feel like Geralt was being rude at all there.
I examined the body of the beast's last victim. Might have found something. Need to analyze it. A quiet place, that's what I could use most right now. And maybe the help of an alchemist or a mage. Also like to hear all you know about the previous victims. Take it Sir Delatour is my man for that.
Firstly, call me Damien, please. Secondly, you should know I spoke against summoning you here. I've heard much about you. You bring trouble, or thus far have, always. And we've enough trouble as it is. Yet we are capable of defeating the beast on our own, without an outsider's help. I've no doubt about it.
Damien?
Do we really bring trouble? I mean, we go where there is trouble, so I can understand why people might think that we do bring trouble. I don't think we've ever brought trouble to a place, have we? I mean, I guess things are trying to kill us, like the Wild Hunt has always been trying to kill us, right? So in that sense, I guess since the Wild Hunt is always following us and trying to murder us, then, or find out where Ciri was from us, then I guess in that sense trouble follows us. But that's the only thing I can think of. I guess, you know what, now that I think about it, we do have a bunch of like powerful mages and such that are fighting over us. So I guess that's trouble too. Okay, never mind, I think he's right.
We settled the matter of the Witcher's employ some time past. Definitively. Since you have broached it nonetheless, let us discuss Geralt's pay. Are the legends true? Do Witchers usually demand that which you find at home, yet did not expect?
Some of them do, but not us.
Not quite, Your Grace. Law of surprise, it's something we invoke at times, but rarely. Usually we just take gold.
Disappointing. This law sounds rather romantic.
I don't think it does.
On returning to the palace, we would like to
the reality of this law is not very romantic. It's stealing your children away from you and taking them to go become a Witcher. That's not that great. Is she hoping that what we're gonna say? Oh, I will take you, and then that's very romantic. I don't think that is either. What if you don't like Geralt? It doesn't work that way. Oh my goodness.
Petitioners or a set of sample fabrics for a new dress. Poor rewards both. I fear you'd not have much use for any of the surprises we are likely to come upon. Thus we've decided you shall receive the deed to a vineyard, Corvo Bianco, and the sum of coin. You will doubtless consider this adequate. Title to the
So we're gonna get a
vineyard shall be
place?
given to you at once. Surely you'll need lodgings while you hunt. The coin, however, will be yours only once you have slain the beast.
Lovely, generous gesture, Your Grace. But, Corvo Bianco, isn't it the Duchy's temporary morgue?
Is it now? The Chancellery's bungled things again, we fear. Not to be left unsupervised for one instant. Yet, in its mood, a morgue should present minimal problems to a Witcher. What's more, nothing enhances a wine's reputation better than a grim legend.
Thank you, Your Grace. I accept the contract, of course. But as I said before, I'll need some information.
So they're giving me a morgue as my place to live? She said she like responded as if she didn't even know that it was the morgue, and as if but she clearly does. She's not that dumb. She understands that she's giving us the morgue. So she just doesn't care. She just thinks it's funny, or that's a weird form of compensation. So basically, it costs them nothing to give the morgue to us, because it's not like we're gonna manage the morgue or anything like that. And we're just gonna leave here afterwards, so it's not really gonna cost them anything. So the only thing we're getting from this is just gold. So it better be a lot of gold.
How'd it start? Who was the first victim?
Crespi was the first to die. He was famed once for his many glorious tournament victories. Then he grew old, hung up his sword, and took to winemaking.
Crespi was not loved by the wine merchants. He was ruthless in business and thought to cheat many a time. He asked us for a dispensation from all court ceremonies. We did not grant it. We could not. Once you've taken the oath of a knight, you remain a knight till death.
How'd he die? Where'd they find the body?
Quite unusual, the circumstance. He was at a feast when suddenly one of his fellow feastgoers noticed he was missing. The town watch found him an hour later. On his hands and knees, propped against the town pillory, his sword hanging from his neck. He had died of wounds inflicted with claws, not a weapon. Blows of great force.
So he died suddenly, but the body was on its knees, meaning someone posed it.
So it seems.
Okay, but still sounds like it could have been done by the Bruxay, though, right? Or maybe not.
Second murder. Tell me what you know.
In the city there are certain nooks. No one reasonable ventures there after dark. Ramon Dulac's corpse was found in one such place. With the first murder, terror gripped the city. Its inhabitants grew wary, kept to safe areas. Consequently, news of the second victim came to us from a group of concerned cut-purses.
Criminals fear the beast? Telling in a way. Take it you've excluded the possibility that Ramon died at the hands of these bandits.
Do you believe me, an amateur? Not hands, but claws killed Ramon Dulac. The wound was deep, clean.
His body was found in the gutter, dressed in nightshirt and cap, a pillow placed under his head, and his sword replaced by a bed warmer. Ramon Dulac, a knight who but a dozen years past was an advisor to our father, the Duke.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make him look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe revenge was the motive.
It's definitely an intelligent monster. They said it was claws and said that it has to be a monster. I mean, we've seen some weird humans. What if it's a human that uses claws? I don't know. Although it would have to be a pretty gigantic claw in order to cut through an entire human. It'd have to be some D. Greyman stuff.
It's not out of the question. Dulac had shady dealings with the criminal underworld, but no one ever came forth with concrete proof of any misdoings.
The flickering shadows are rather distracting, but
so,
it is what it is.
First two victims were knights, best years behind them.
The same could be said of the third. Sir Delacroix was wont to claim that in modern times knights face new challenges, enterprise being the latest addition to the chivalric virtues.
He made a veritable fortune in the grain trade. Palmerin even nicknamed him Sir de la Stinchi.
Found a coin pouch on his body. Contained florins dating from various times, hailing from different provinces of the
So is that also part of the, it seems like those monsters like trying to shame all these various people. So is that part of the shaming for him?
Coin, true, but had no patience for numismatics.
What is numismatics?
Lots of similarities.
Actually, hold on. Let me Google that. What the heck is the word numismatics? The word I've never seen before. Numismatic. What does that mean? Come on, Google. Okay, the study or collection of currency. Okay, so he wasn't a coin collector, is what they were trying to say. So that's what numismatics mean. I guess pneuma is probably, I mean, that's like numbers and whatnot. I guess I understand how numismatics could relate to collecting coins, collecting something that has to do with counting currency.
All the bodies were found in strange places under extraordinary circumstances. Seems the murderer, whoever or whatever it is, has some meaning to convey.
Yeah, clearly this...
These were honorable men. We are horrified by the disdain, the disrespect...
Well, not to whoever the murderer was.
These were knights of Toussaint. Blast it.
I mean, a hero is just the villain to the other side. So, sure, they were honorable men. But who did these knights go to fight? We've got all these knights here in Toussaint. What were they fighting? Not just the monsters. They're probably fighting other nations as well, or other groups that we don't know about. To some of those other groups, the knights are not heroes. They're not. They would be villains, and they would kill them for that. Although clearly there's something specific about these specific knights, these specific people, that's especially apparently worth killing them over?
Might be the point. From what you say, none was a model of virtue. Ever considered that's what the beast's trying to draw attention to?
All the murdered men were knights who swore fealty to the 5 chivalric virtues.
Okay, she's speaking nonsense now.
Knights of Toussaint swear fealty to what virtues exactly?
Honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
Okay, that compassion one we weren't really saying much with that whole fighting in the arena thing. Virtue, I don't know. I don't know if I believe all that.
5 virtues. Why are they so important to your knights?
Strange question.
Your Grace, forgive me. I'm a foreigner trying to understand another land's customs.
You are forgiven. According to legend, the virtues we cultivate were bestowed upon us by the Lady of the Lake. How we truly came to espouse them, none remember. In Toussaint, we believe men of low birth should be simple-hearted and obedient. We expect much more, however, of our knights. They are to be soldiers and courtiers, lords and servants. Thus, the need for clear moral guidelines.
Okay, so what she's telling us is that here in Toussaint, they have a strict, like, hierarchy. What's the word for that? I don't remember what the word for that is. They have a strict social hierarchy with, like, nobles and peasants. Maybe somebody is just upset about that differentiation. There's probably somebody who maybe wanted to become a knight and was not allowed to, or wanted to become nobility and was not allowed to, or had their nobility stripped from them or stolen from them, and they feel aggrieved because of it, and that's why all this is happening. Maybe they went and found a monster and they, I don't know, befriended it or took it under their own control, or they became a monster themselves in order to get revenge on the system that oppressed them. That's my initial guess.
At the time of his dubbing, a knight vows to demonstrate throughout his life honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
I just noticed like the triangle-shaped spikes on our armor. Reminds me of a movie called Kung Pao. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, where he tries to grab the, I don't know. Anyways, continuing on. Beast announcing moral decay.
Beast seems to be pointing up moral decay, denouncing it. Victims were all humiliated. Might have been murdered to emphasize their lack of specific chivalric virtues.
Honor.
He's flashing still, this guy.
Pillory.
Only that angle.
Wisdom by ridicule. Generosity by a coin pouch shoved down a throat. It seems to fit, true, though not perfectly.
Okay, so you're saying that
the theory if it's on the lips of everyone in town. Say our reasoning's right. Next murder will be just as showy and denounce the victim's lack of the 4th virtue, valor. We can also assume that victim will be an elder knight.
Let's think. At the moment, all the knights are either at the tourney grounds or in the palace gardens. Our annual hare hunt shall begin there shortly. Have you heard of the custom?
Milton mentioned something. Seemed excited to prance around in a bunny costume. Not sure why.
Yeah, is Milton gonna be the next one to die? Or is he gonna be one of the ones to die? I feel like that's very likely right now, which is kind of a problem.
Hang on. Strange circumstances. A knight advanced in years. The famed cowardice of rabbits.
Yep.
Could it be that simple? Is Milton de Peyrac-Peyren the next victim?
Milton also knew Delacroix. Told me so down by the river.
Damien! To miss something so obvious. De Peyrac-Peyren, Crespi, Delacroix, and Delac formed a knightly team. It was years ago, but...
So, de Peyrac-Peyren, Crespi, and Delacroix and Dulac formed a knightly team. I'm struggling with these names and remembering who each person is. The first person is Milton. But okay, if all those people formed a knightly team, sure, that's something. But that's not accounting for everyone, right? There's more than that many virtues that she spouted. This killing isn't going to be the last one.
They were a team?
They were close friends, tightly knit, and as such earned the trust of our father, the Duke. We often witnessed him turn to them with delicate matters. Later, their paths diverged.
Unlikely to be a coincidence. Beast must know it too. It's a lead, I'm sure.
Okay, but the Beast, or whoever is behind it, they weren't part of the team, right?
Your Grace, we need to find Milton immediately.
Rather problematic. You see, the garden...
Actually, she just said that their paths diverged. Why? Why did their paths diverge? Was there some sort of big event that happened? Like this team was given all sorts of assignments and they all worked together. But they were probably given an assignment and something happened that caused their paths to diverge. And I have a feeling that that point where the team diverged and split apart, I feel like that is what's connected to the killer. That's what I'm guessing.
Are due to start, and he's disguised as the Hare, hiding somewhere, waiting for some tipsy courtiers to find him. The Hare's hiding place is a carefully guarded secret.
We must call off the game at once.
First and foremost, we must remain calm.
Yeah, calling off the game at once would force the killer to act immediately.
Damien, order the garden searched immediately, but discreetly. By no means can we disrupt the festivities.
Exactly.
Panic will only incite the beast to strike sooner.
Yeah, she's not dumb. She's very smart. She knows what she's doing.
And you, Witcher, follow me. My gardens, my night, I shall take the fall. A murder is out of the question. I will not allow it. Not near my palace. Horses? Ready our horses!
Okay, on we go. Oh, what happened?
Your Grace!
Got it. Okay, what are you looking at, Carol? Yeah, I like this quest already.
What the hell? Why,
I love...
Your Highness,
Mind it doesn't get wrinkled. Onward!
I like quests with mysteries like this where I have to think. And I can theorize about what's actually going on.
Hey! That is silk! Be careful!
What?
Give it to me!
What? What do you mean be careful? You're the one trying to rip it from their hands. Why are we focusing on this person? What's the significance of that person?
Right like the wind.
Not so fast, Roach.
Okay, let's see if we can get ahead of her.
Your Grace seems right at home in the saddle.
Bye-bye.
This way! Through town! Try not to lose your way. Sharp right! Take care!
Okay, at least he's calling out the directions. I appreciate that. Different from any other kind of race where we don't know where we're going. Cool city. I'm gonna go faster than you. I'm gonna beat you. Just you wait.
Clear the path! Clear the way, I said!
Go, go, go. We can cut her off. No, she went the wrong way.
Your Grace.
Fret not and feed the gossips. It's here! Just round the corner!
Hurry.
Okay.
We must go to where the game is being held. The participants must find a unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix egg.
Okay,
With these
so
in
yeah, it's an
hand,
Easter
they
egg
can
hunt.
deduce where the hare, Milton,
I was right.
hides.
Mean we need to find those things too.
We've no other option. But time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules.
Okay. This is gonna be quite a thing for us to go in here and break the rules, but alright. Oh.
On second thought,
Is that the same guy? Or does it just look the same? Wait.
I
That
shall
look
show you
that
where
that lady
the
just
hunt
gave.
is out. Then we will split up.
Okay, cool music, by the way, that's going on right here. But that guy, did he beat us here? No, he couldn't have. That wouldn't make any sense. Unless he's a monster and teleported here somehow. What was that look that that lady just
You
gave
will
that
get hold
guy?
of the unicorn horn and the golden fish. While I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
Okay.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, Geralt. It's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it.
The unicorn. How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. It runs around over there, look. The golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other Phoenix Egg hunters. All clear? Then let's get to it.
Okay, let's go. That sounds pretty fun. How do I get down? Oh, crap. I almost jumped off the edge. I guess we don't go down this way. Go, go, go!